Hello, hello. Jessica here again. It's the third of, I don't know why I'm having trouble remembering what month it is. It's May, the 3rd of May. Actually uploaded a video earlier, a longer reading, where it was very distinct that it was two individuals that were what seemed like divine counterparts in separation. And what I'm coming to right now is to help the second counterpart. The first one was the collective that came there originally. So if you wanted to cross watch, you can. If you are the second counterpart that came into the reading towards the middle ish. Um, I'm doing this reading because that counterpart showed the signs of going through a very big transformation um, by loosening the threads that are connecting to lower energies. Basically, like getting rid of cobwebs. We had the devil and the death card show up, and it was showing that you, the counterpart, is going through a very, I don't want to say difficult because I don't want it to be like traumatic like that, but it could be a more difficult process because of all of the energy that was in there. That's why watching that could actually help because it could make sense of the whole situation and then to understand why you're here to why you're here. Um, Pre-shuffle showing the star, which showed up in your half of that reading as well. So right at this moment, I'm focusing in on that space when I was in there. And that moment where that star card came in your reading, in your half of that reading, it was saying that currently you're going through that. It was literally the star, death, sorry, the star, the devil, and then death, which tells me that you've been doing a lot of healing, like this past amount of years, whatever amount of years, you've been doing a lot of sifting and sorting and healing, tapping into your more spiritual side, which is great. It seems like this might not be who I'm speaking to might not be somebody who normally does that. It feels very much like this is a new territory for the energy that I'm tapping into right now, which is fine. That's awesome. This is a fun space to be. So uh, I hope you enjoy it. And my intention here is basically just to help. Source wanted me to come back and not neglect your side of the story because it feels like it's very important to the trajectory of the union of these divine counterparts. And if you're unfamiliar with divine counterparts, could be other names for it: twin flame. Some people would say soulmate, but I would say the way that this energy came through very much was of higher caliber. Twin flame, something very old, ancient. Any of those things, it feels different viscerally inside when connecting to the person, um, the counterpart. So Source did wanted me to come back and not neglect the other side, because it feels like that message that I did before was more of a quantum level, the way I speak. And this one's going to be a little bit 411 on the timer is going to be a little bit more down to earth. 411 being an angel number. Maybe take a look at that after this. Um, Google for what does 411 angel number mean for you and see what that holds. So I'm actually going to do this pull a little different for you. Your main focus here is going to be Two of Pentacles. There's a lot of energy. Okay. Again, we have the star underneath. This is something you've been really working with. You've been tapping into what we call universal consciousness. And what that means is basically you've been going into a deeper realm. Could be in your dream space. It could be in um, even in everyday life. You've been getting signs, synchronicities. 511. When I look at the time, that could be a sign right there. Number synchronicities. You've been getting a lot of repeating numbers. 1111, 111, 511. Just things. Every number under the sun followed by 11 could be a thing that's starting to happen to you, and you're wondering what this all means. Know that whatever you've been doing in your life has brought you to this place. So it's trying to open the door to your curiosity here. The main message you got is the Two of Pentacles. And it says focus on one thing at a time. So what I'm getting is right now you have too many things in your focal point. And what you're being called to do is to bring one special thing into focus. And I don't mean just any old thing. I mean the thing. Whatever that thing is for you. The biggest dream that you could possibly have. And that could be your divine counterpart, because that is what we came here to talk about from the original message, which was for that divine counterpart. It was as if I was talking to them and giving them advice as to what the stagnation was in your connection. So this is like saying on the opposite end what the stagnation is on your side. Not a stagnation as a bad thing. This is all a spiritual journey. And it's really just to focus on what source or God or spirit or whatever you decide to call it, what higher power has been trying to basically wake you up to, get you to focus on, because there's a deep need to focus on what? We have the Five of Pentacles here. We have a couple of cards I wanted to come out together. That means that they just have joint energy. I'll get into that when we get to it. We have the King of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Five of Wands and the Four of Wands. Lots of action-oriented. Wands is fire. It's action. A lot of Aries. Could be an Aries. That's King of Wands. Bold, assertive. Doesn't really feel like somebody who takes no for an answer. Somebody who is willing to take a risk because they pretty much know that they're not going to get a no in return. They've got foresight. They take bold action because they have foresight. So know this, whoever I'm speaking to, you have a very deep and visceral, I keep getting that word, visceral connection to your spiritual side. You just don't know it. And that's probably why you're here. Source is trying to say you should start to focus a little bit on that, because that has been showing you what you should be moving forward on, which is what we're here for. Again, this is to help understand what that devil energy in the other reading was, which devil energy points to repeating cycles, negative patterns. It could be addictions. It could be things that are causing conflict, chaos, just competition, just things that are causing feelings like that are feeling like you're being left out in the cold energetically, like maybe source is not getting you up to speed in life, or it could be a multitude of things. Look in your existence and size up the things that have been giving you energy versus taking it from you and not feeling very good when you separate from it. For example, going to a job that doesn't feel great to go to. When you get home from that job, you're probably not feeling great. You're feeling drained, depleted, all that thing. Same with a relationship. If it's something that isn't good for your soul, it's not feeding your soul, it's going to feel draining, even on a small level. And that even, imagine drip feeding any situation, your life force. Over time, you are going to shorten your life force. And we're trying to avoid that, okay? And that's why we're here. Because right now, Source is saying you're connected to a cycle of, or a pattern of behavior, or a cycle of life or energy that's causing conflict. We have 2 5s. And it's time for a change in that trajectory so you can go on a more aligned path, because it's before you. It's showing up here in the cards that you have a more aligned path, but it's because of these things, these little things, and they're very, in the grand scheme of things, are actually quite small. It feels very much like energy around career and self-worth, or standing out, like being someone. That's what I'm seeing here. So it's things that are really easy to I wanted to say rectify, but to focus on the right things for your spiritual growth, because that's what Source is trying to call you to right now. It's saying that there's a different way, there's a better way. When you focus, there's a focal point that's been trying to show itself to you, but the focus has been on something else. The negatives. With the Five of Pentacles, I'm getting the energy of focusing a lot on the negatives, when right now it needs to be on the focus that there is growth still happening within those things. Even if they seem negative on the outside, a negative can be a positive. For instance, losing a job. Imagine you get fired, and in that moment, that looks like a negative. But at the end of the day, you start to reevaluate, oh, wait, I hated that job. It wasn't going anywhere. And then you start to, it seems like there's a lot of energy about that, like getting really honest about the potential of what things are giving versus what is truth. Because it can be a lot of like potential versus truth conflicts here, is what I'm getting. Like, a lot of things can have potential. That doesn't mean that they're going to take it all the way. And if something is butting heads up with constantly creating a pattern of butting up against something, it's universe's way of trying to show that this has a wall in it. There's an energetic wall in it. And right now it feels like the focal point is to see where the walls are made of brick versus straw. Because some things are meant to be overcome and some things are not. Some things are meant to be walked away from. And it feels like that's what Source is trying to get to be the focus. And it's not through more work, actually, which is, it might seem a little counterproductive or counterintuitive. It's actually Source is trying to say, don't try to force the focus. Actually, just focus on what your consciousness, your dream space, where your heart has been taking you. Where has your vision been taking you internally? When the lights are out, when you're on your bed and you're daydreaming, or you're in those theta stages, or like in the waking, the dusk dawn space, when you're in that space where it's just you and your own head and your own thoughts and your own true heart's desires, what comes up there? And then allowing Source to put those circumstances in the way, because it feels like right now, with what I'm seeing, again, referencing that devil energy that you're attached to from the original reading, how we can get that devil energy to free its grasp from you, because it's not something, a devil energy is not supposed to represent something that's difficult to release ourselves from. The chains on the devil card, if you would like to look it up, the chains on the entities in that card are very loose. It's meant to represent that the solution to the problem is actually very simple to overcome, which we see here. Again, it's showing you there's a simple solution by actually allowing life to kind of take you where it wants you to go based off of your intuitive or um, heart's desires, where your heart or dreams or daydreams have been trying to pull you. Especially with this King of Wands, you have a very unique and clear foresight. When you see something in your mind's eye, your third eye, it is truth. It is coming through because it's something that is going to happen or is happening in some part of the timeline, right? Like imagine the timeline is an accordion and you pull it out, and that's how you see your whole life from birth to death. And then you can snap the accordion shut, and that's where you see things, the foresights, right? Like you can see details of your life that haven't happened yet, or you can go back and look at things that have already happened. But most of the time, what I'm getting here is what you've been using it, and Source wants you to keep using it, that moving forward, because it's actually going to make that process speed up. You've been having a lot of intuitive downloads, and I don't think you feel like you have been. I don't think you feel like you have been. And Source is saying, don't look down, look up. I've been helping you. I've been giving you insights like intuitive hit, intuitive hit, intuitive hit. Look at the signs that you've been getting, because then the forcing and allowing won't be something you're trying to do. It just will be. You'll be walking, and the things will come to you. The next step, the next breadcrumb that you have to follow, the next step on your journey will just show up. And then that conflict of trying to find the way to the solutions for for whatever you're trying to create in your life, the stuff you're trying to take action on, and maybe not getting solution, because ultimately you're trying to find success in some things, and it's feeling like you're coming up against a lot of conflict there. Like there's a lot of stuff fighting you to get to the finish lines on some stuff, a bunch of stuff maybe. And it's saying that there's an easier way, by actually not forcing the things to come to you, but to allow them to show up, and you're gonna know which ones to act on. It very much feels like you're a person who acts, and it's not saying to not act on something, it's saying to act on the things that your intuition have been showing you, rather than the things that come from like an earthly sort of um, like something that might be, because again, this is attached to the devil energy from before, so it's something that might be causing a continuous pattern that's not feeding your evolution. So if it's something that is continuously giving you the same BS, continuously doing the same stuff, and you're just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it isn't going to change. It's saying that that's not what your focus is. That's why there's two focuses that are imbalanced. One that's already happening, that you already know is like, I want it to be done, and the one you've been intuitively envisioning for yourself, the dream life that you are envisioning. And it's saying focus on that one because that one's actually what you have been moving toward. The only thing in your way to making that happen even faster is the looking at the wrong thing. It's focusing on the wrong thing. You're looking down. Don't look down. The things that are down, that make you look down, like, like when I think of people or someone who looks down, I used to do that when I was a kid, actually. I would look down a lot. Because I was I don't even know. There was a lot of emotion, sadness, like people often look down when they don't want people to make eye contact with them. So when things make you look down on life, even, those are the things Source is saying not to focus on, because those are the things that are causing you to force action in the wrong directions. I hope that helps and makes sense, because they're ultimately saying you have a very strong and clear foresight for what you genuinely want, and you need to focus on that, because Source is pulling that in for you, because you've been also pulling it in through your own consciousness. You have a very deep connection with universal consciousness. That's why it's saying you have the foresight. not because it's some, like mystical, magical thing. It's saying that you have this gift, and now it's time to trust it and move with it, because that's going to get you what you've been trying to get for so long, so much faster. I'm getting some oracle cards to give a little more guidance. We have the Wise Guide, and it says, who is a guiding presence in your life? What advice would they give you right now? So someone's telling you something. You have someone in your life that's guiding you currently, and they're saying tap into that person, whether physically with them, or if they're not with you anymore. How would they, like, what would Dory do? I was watching Finding Dory, and that's literally what Marlin, the father, and Nemo were saying. What would Dory do in this situation? And it feels like that, like maybe using someone who you feel very deeply connected to, a guide, to get you through these situations are gonna help a lot. Using their guidance. What would they do right now? Open door. An opportunity has arrived. Are you ready to step through? What's holding you back and what's pulling you forward? We literally are saying that. Two of Pentacles right here is what that's talking about. What's pulling you forward? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong side. What's pulling you forward and what's pulling you back? Look at where he's looking. He's focusing on the forward. So it's saying focus on the forward. What's pulling you back is going to just keep pulling you back. It's what's been pulling you back, and that's why the 2 5s show up. 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. It's saying that something is causing conflict and stagnating because there's a disconnect in what's trying to happen, what's actually trying to happen. And then the last card you have is the Tower. Are you isolating yourself or feeling trapped? What is keeping you in this high place, and how might you climb down? I want to read that one again. What is keeping you in this high place, and how might you climb down? Yeah. And then underneath it was the Dark Forest. What fears or uncertainties are you currently facing? What strengths can guide you through them? This very much feels like you've been going through a very dark night of the soul sort of thing, which genuinely just means that you've most likely gone through some sort of awakening, and been trying to navigate how to understand it. And it's saying that you have resources that are going to make this a lot easier than you've been making it on yourself. And that's not trying to get at you. That's actually just saying you've had the wheel this whole time. I just got a pop in my right ear, which is great. That means that you're like your energy is opening up to reception, because that's on the masculine side, right side. So that's great. It's saying right now, to be able to just allow that unfolding to keep on processing itself, because right now you're in the place that um, you're trying to still operate from the way you used to push forward. It feels like you are very much a doer, somebody who likes to take action on something. King of Wands. And it might be that some of those things were half cooked, like half baked or half cooked before they were meant to be acted on. And right now it's saying that's an easier way. Um, so what I'm getting with this final message here is that there's actually someone that you feel very close to that's trying to help guide you, and you can just use their energy, their guiding light, to move forward, and that also will help this transition become easier, faster, and get you more successes with all of these things that you're trying to create in the world. Because I see that you're trying to make not just one thing or two things or five things even. It might be like a multitude of things you're trying to create at once. And it's saying not to stop doing that. In fact, keep doing that, but to get more success, utilize your friend, whoever this person, this guiding light, that has a lot of insight for you. They know what they're talking about. So listen. The open door really tells me that just by opening up to this message in particular, there's something to be had here. An opportunity, a door of opportunity is becoming available because, like that release in my ear that I mentioned earlier, it's like your energetic presence just became lighter by understanding. Even if you didn't listen to me, even if you were cleaning your car or brushing your teeth or twirling your hair, and none of the words actually landed, some part of your subconscious opened a door for you that will start to funnel in some light, and with that, get you out of this feeling or this isolation that you've been in, because we see that we have the Five of Pentacles, right? This isolation here, the dark forest here. I'm seeing that you're in this like in between of your old life and your new life, and it's saying that it's not dark because it's supposed to be like this scary dark place. It's dark because in the darkness, that's where you can find the light. You can't find the light if you're in the sun already, and you've been out in the sun this whole time, and now you went into a dark phase. But it's saying that following the light that you've been feeling, sensing into, and um, doubting that you have, it's where you're at right now. It's asking you to stop doubting yourself because you have that, like, I'm talking like clarity because of that fire. There's like something about having fire in the eyes. That's why it feels very much like it could be a like Aries energy, or like a very fiery energy, somebody who's got that, because it feels like that they have like fire in their eyes. And if you've ever heard of candle gazing or anything like that, it's about getting clarity. Looking at people have stared at fire for a long time, and just looking at fire helps to, even on a scientific level, helps to like calm the nerves in the eyes in some sense of the like some sense. And basically what it does is it's like it's relaxing it to a point where you can get some what well, for meditation purposes, is to get clear vision when you meditate. So basically what people do is they'll sit in front of the fire, they'll gaze at it, and just allow their vision to set, and kind of uh, become, I don't want to say like drift. Drift is the only word that I'm getting, but like if you ever just stare off into space and your eyes just kind of, they haze or glaze over, um, you drift, and it's like that. Like you're when you use the fire, it's to help clear the vision, so that when you go into meditation, that vision is clear. It's like, picture that if you want to look into fire gazing, that might be something that could even amplify and get rid of some of the dark spaces that are in your vision currently, because it's saying your vision's actually really crystal clear, but it feels like there might be cobwebs, and that might just be because of energetic gunk from your past life still kind of floating in your energetic space. um, so I'm going to just get one final message here. Temperance on the split, and then we're gonna get 1, 2, 3. Sweet. Temperance again under that was the split that I did. Then the Magician, Six of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. Again, divine counterparts here. So this is something to bring us back to that original message, because again, that original message was about um, union or reunion. King of Wands to the Queen of Wands, the Magician. So it's saying that through this process, it's going to make it a lot clearer, a lot simpler to move toward that counterpart, because your focus is going to be on the joy you are cultivating in front of you through this magician's practice, right? Like his whole purpose is focusing on the joy and the vision from the vision and that you're creating in front of you, and that keeps pulling down more and more into your physical world. He has all the tools that he needs to create in physical world. An alchemist, he has everything he needs to create. And it's saying that that's what you have right here. And through this practice of tapping in, using your guides, your friends, whoever you find that's trusted to help you be or help through this darkened time, or what seems like this darkened time, is going to make the transition a lot clearer, simpler, easier. With this six of swords, it's saying, again, it's calling attention to that guy. That's what this man here represents. It's saying there is a guide available to you that's trying to help you transition a lot smoother. Make the mental work on this a lot smoother than it is or has been currently. And then again, with the Queen of Wands, I'm getting that. Well, actually, what I got immediately was that there's something about, again, the signs that I was immediately drawn to the black cat, and maybe that's a sign in and of itself, the black cat showing up, crossing your path, something. But that could be a sign from your counterpart. Maybe they sent a familiar your way. Like if you have seen a black cat, that could be a symbol. Or if you see a black cat moving forward, like within the past couple of days, if you saw a black cat, or if you see one moving forward, it could be a sign from your counterpart as a familiar. They're most likely a very intuitive, witchy type of person, even if they're not outwardly that way. But they have that sort of energy about them. But with the Queen of Wands, most likely they're very out and proud about their abilities. So they might even be being cheeky about it. Like this message showing up might be a cheeky way to say, hey, that little black cat that you saw, that was my familiar, and that's why it winked at you, or that's why it did the funny little thing it did, or it brushed up against your leg and made itself very known, kind of thing like that. Like some sort of cheeky message from them. That's what it kind of feels like. Um, but it's saying that is going to help. There's this guide that's trying to help you more, is trying to help you through the magician. It's like um, it might even be someone who's passed on, or somebody that you listen to, like a podcast or a YouTube video, a reading type thing. Getting some sort of guidance that's helping you manifest more joy and more focus on that stuff, everything we've been talking about, to make that path more clear. It's gonna make the not only your mental space more clear, but your emotional space is gonna get more tempered, and the allowing to become more familiar in your body. Maybe that's what that familiar is trying to also help with, like a comfort pet. Like maybe allowing doesn't feel good in your body, so you don't like to allow life to happen for you. You like to make life happen through your actions. And that's why some things can go like awry, because some of those things you might even realize before, not maybe, you do realize before ahead of time that you probably shouldn't, because you have very clear foresight, remember. So again, I hope that that helps. It's um, trying to come full circle on that whole experience of getting out of that pattern or cycle. And I feel like what we see here is very much somebody who is not only determined, you are not only determined to set your focus into perspective and reunite this um, very high level connection, but you are already on the precipice of getting to something, an opportunity that's uh, gonna feel like a very big win, like something that you've been waiting for a long time. Um, Especially with the two, uh, the Queen and King of Wands, like meeting up, like that. That's a very like um, that can be a very explosive and um, sexual energy, sexual in a way that I mean like using your sexual energy, your sacral chakra energy, where your life force comes from. It's like having an amazing idea, or creating life with another person, or meeting up with your counterpart, your soulmate, your twin flame, expressing it to each other, making it known, taking action on it, some sort of action behind that those two energies meeting up, right? Is what we're getting. There's some sort of big explosion around that specific transaction. So when the two energies meet, the two counterparts meet, it's going to be explosive in a good way. It's going to feels like open up that next transformation in both of your lives, and make things move in some sort of brand new direction, something that probably you could have not probably you never would have imagined, because that's the time energetically that we're in, the energetic space we're in is thinking life's going to go one way and then getting completely something else, but it's a million times better. So I hope that helps anyone out there. And thank you for showing up and spending some time with me, Jessica, again. And I will see you in the next one.